Hello everybody and welcome to Sonic Boom episode 13 pre-show. I'm Kevin, joining me is Donnie.
Hi guys.
And also no one else because everyone's gone. Lonely,
we're alone.
I'm so lonely. Ain't got nobody except Donnie.
Oh. How are you doing on this fine day?
I'm doing very well, my friend. I do not have the amazing social life of our Sonic show Contemporaries, apparently, because Jamie's out in a pub with his husband, and Tanner is lost to us because Monster Hunter. We will never see Tanner again, which is a pity for a number of reasons. Tom's not available today. Jono's busy, so that's it. It's basically us two.
Yep.
We're not sure if the actual commentary will go on by this. What we're going to do now is, as they say in the business, play for time.
This is kind of how the pre-shows began in the first place. So
yes, actually, it's we were waiting for Jono, weren't we? Quite literally in the first pre-show, and now this episode is waiting for anyone.
Yep.
Actually, no, because let's start with our what's happened in the last week discussions and the post show. Was it the post show? I think it was the post show.
Yeah.
I may have put out a sort of challenge to Greg Hahn.
Oh yes, this I remember.
Okay, we might get somebody joining us. That's
good.
That's a good thing.
It's who I think it is it?
Yeah, we're getting a DoubleXXCross with any luck. With any luck whatsoever. But yes, Greg Hahn, we were talking about Tanner Montana. And I did happen to say that if Greg Hahn did a poster for it, like he has done for several other things, several other episodes. If he did a Tanner Montana poster, we would put it up on the LMC video, but more importantly, we would plug whatever the heck he's doing for the rest of time.
Yes.
So on that basis, let's have a look at his Twitter feed and say what he's been talking about. He was very pleased last week that one of the jokes from Sonic Boom, namely the Sonic's middle name is the joke, was hit number one on Reddit's front page. He's also quite into Lucha Underground, the wrestling series, which is great. I've yet to watch Lucha Underground. I should probably do that. He retweeted because when we're recording this, it's Valentine's Day, and one of the hashtags that's going around on Twitter, which actually went around last year as well, is hashtag Sega Pickup Lines.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a yearly thing. It's a long story.
Yeah, it's we've been doing some of ours. He retweets something from Alan Denton, which is, "Tonight, baby, it's all about you and me." And Knuckles. Whereas Greg just has, "Is that a hedgehog in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?" I think you'll find that that's a faker in your pocket. But now argue about whether or not it's real. But Greg did do a Tanner Montana poster. It is awesome.
Yes.
Thank you for that, Greg. I hope you appreciate the name of this pre-show in your honour, which is going to be Hand Shot First.
Is it too early to say that is the picture of the year?
It's the picture of February so far. It's the picture of the month.
Yeah. for sure.
It's a picture of the series so far, certainly.
Oh yes.
I don't know if I actually said this on the previous one as well, but the poster which I couldn't identify for the Cowbot commentary was actually for Mothra. I didn't. Yeah, I can't remember if I mentioned that last week, but that was one of the other things that Greg confirmed for us, was that it was Mothra that the poster was based on. And again, you should see that on the video, the LMC video, if you've got the chance. Speaking of videos, if you are watching this on YouTube by any chance, if it says anything other than Last Minute Continue or The Sonic Show and the creator, somebody's
probably flag it or something.
Yeah, flag it, because somebody's ripped it. We've actually started having to. It's nice in a way that the commentaries have become so popular that people are ripping them now.
Hey guys, check out my commentary. I was not in it, but
check out my commentary. It's brilliant. It's so good that I've actually put it twice.
Yeah, I manipulated.
And then uploaded it.
I manipulated all the voices so they all sounded like me.
Yeah. That's great. It was really funny because I don't remove the LMC logo or Sonic Show logo at the beginning of it, and so it must be done by a bot. There's something for Eggman. Twitter bot, the most evil bot there is.
And no, bring me trends, evil
trends. 140 characters of destruction.
And he'll make me delicious hashtags. I'd watch that. I'd promote that bot.
Promote it Finley, if you please.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Twitter bot needs to become a thing. Or an episode of Eggman on social media, just generally. It would be hilarious. Eggman finds out that there's message boards saying what terrible he is, and he goes on them to try and turn opinion round, and he starts getting a bit of an online following.
I was making a joke, I think it was a week or two ago, when what was it, the Late Show?
Oh yeah,
the Daily Show with Jon Stewart.
Oh yes, because Jon Stewart is leaving that, isn't he? Unfortunately.
Yeah, and I was making a joke how Eggman should be the new host of the show.
Yeah. That would make sense. Well, there we go. See, for that, with all the messages, you could just use the stuff that gets put on poor Mike Pollock's Facebook page. Just completely, just take it. Just take it 100%. Just take it as it is and just dunk it in the episode.
Should we explain why that in particular may have we mentioned that?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So last night, for those who don't know, Mike Pollock does have a Facebook page, the Voice of Eggman. It's technically his own personal Facebook page. He doesn't actually have a fan page.
It's not Dr. Eggman's Facebook page. Okay.
No.
Can we? I think the community tends to forget Mike does other things. Okay. He's a very talented voice actor who does all sorts of things. I think if there was to give an example, he did a Super Bowl related advert for Pepsi. Yeah. Okay, and it was like Christmas at the time for some reason. I don't know.
I think I remember correctly. Wasn't he one of the characters in the Yu-Gi-Oh anime? I forget which one it was. The recent one that aired.
If only Kat were here, Kat would be able to tell us. You see, because she is Miss Yu-Gi-Oh. I of course know nothing about Yu-Gi-Oh, and I didn't work on the series in any way whatsoever.
I think that was Dan Green.
Dan.
Right,
you're getting confused with Dan.
Yeah,
because Dad is Yami or Yugi. I can't remember which one it is. Probably both. We're going to go back to blimmin' the voices again, aren't we? No, I refuse to.
We're going to go through this discussion all over again.
I refuse to. No. But there's a lot of stuff that goes on that page.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that goes on that page. Like everyone seems to think that Mike doesn't check up on the news at all either. Uh, I'm pretty sure he knows about everything that's going on in the Sonic franchise, considering he does follow TSSC.
Mike is very on the ball and always has been.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna. If you continue to explain, I'm gonna add a cat to the call. In preparation.
Yeah. But what happened was a fan actually gave a link, because for those who don't know, there was I think it was The Verge that did an article saying that Sonic needs to die and the kids don't love Sonic and this thing, the next thing, and so a fan actually sent that article to Mike and included the words "and go" as if he's expecting. It came out like disrespectful, so to speak. Like it's more like fans seem to think that they could just give anything to Mike on his page and be disrespectful.
Mike does do. Mike's not afraid of giving a comeback.
Yeah.
Yardley.
Yardley? No. That's the Archie comics. Is Yardley? We're talking about somebody else here. Anyway,
Yardley is also very, very close. So.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway, we now have.
I've accidentally placed myself. Were you recording at that point?
We still are. Hello.
Oh, please cut that out then.
No, it's uncut. I told you this last time. It's uncut. That's the point.
Bleep it.
Anyway, we have a double cross here. Hello, double
Hi,
cross.
we have a double cross.
Hello, cat.
I'm just giving you a space in. Well, to be totally honest, like several dozen miles of where I could be living, so that's not that bad. Some of you would have already gotten that information from my accent, or maybe not. It depends.
Yeah.
To be fair, we've had quite a few different accents on the commentary so far.
We may have already. What are you doing there? Are you getting snacks?
No, I'm doing something I've never done before, which is opening the box to Prince of Persia.
Oh.
Well,
I
can honestly say that wasn't on my list of things.
I have a copy of the Prince of Persia for PS3 that I've never opened. That was bought for me before Christmas.
Put it down.
Welcome to our Let's Prince of
Welcome to our Let's
Unwrap. I see what this is. She's actually going to use the Sands of Time to rewind so she doesn't have that flub at the beginning, which comes in.
No. I had. If I wanted to reverse time, I would pick something I find more reliable.
Great. Oh boy. So there was that. Anyway, I think people expect Mike to make comment on just anything at the moment, but there was again this, as you said, Donnie, this tendency because Sonic Boom the game hasn't sold as well as people think, and it was like, hello, it was on Wii U and 3DS only.
Yeah.
Not quite sure what you were expecting there, but
yeah.
I'd say that's quite good, actually, considering.
Sonic games do have a tendency to do.
It's no excuse really, because it's the 3DS.
Yeah, but it's like
if you don't have a Wii,
considered.
you still have a 3DS.
I think a lot of people would still consider that, the secondary version.
Yeah.
Not many people talk about Shattered Crystal. I hear all about Rise of Lyric, but nothing about Shattered Crystal.
The only things I've ever seen actually mentioned about Shattered Crystal is the writing is bollocks, and the speech bubble design is bollocks, and then I played it for a while and it was kind of boring.
I can vouch for the it is boring aspect. I played the demo.
It's inoffensive, except for the part where it's boring.
It's inoffensive except for the fact where it just doesn't.
It's boring and the cutscenes are terrible.
The in-game cutscenes, the CG cutscene at the beginning for Shattered Crystal, I think is actually very good.
Yeah.
Which is the one where it's basically Amy versus Lyric.
I think this is a thing I have seen, but I didn't realise it was meant to be the opening cinematic.
It's basically the opening, but it's the idea that Amy's just like off on her own and is kind of handling lyrics business. And
The one thing you really cannot hold against Sonic Boom's the animation is good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like I definitely feel like the animation is so amazing.
Though there are people apparently freaking out over, animation quirks that have been happening in animation for years and years that nobody cared about until now.
Like, it's not going to be perfect.
I'm pretty certain that nobody on here has ever complained about any animation issues in the show. It's always me, isn't it? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Knuckles is missing. Knuckles is missing his irises. Cubot's gone through the floor.
Sonic's arms are blue. Why is that an animation error? Wait.
Sonic has one eyeball. He's had that for years.
Yeah.
Are you seriously only picking on that now?
Are
you seriously that unimaginative?
I saw when
I wrote sci-fi concepts about an eyeball long before you even noticed it.
I remember when Generations was first announced and how people were criticizing classic Sonic for having a buckle on his shoe because he didn't have that before, apparently.
Oh, it's ruined everything.
The buckle is indeed a debate because there is artwork from 1991 where he had the buckle on his shoe.
This is true.
But then there is lots of artwork where he didn't have the buckle on his shoe. So it's the question of, was he meant to have the buckle on his shoe? And I would say, according to the shoes his shoes are based on, yes.
Yeah, aren't they based on Michael Jackson or something?
Yes.
They're based on buckled shoes worn by Michael Jackson. So I would say they're supposed to have the buckle.
How fitting to have Sonic nerds talk over Sonic animation.
That does tie in a little bit because there's a lot of discussion about obviously the Sonic 3 remake potential.
Oh yeah, everyone's been talking about that because it's just more so like we want this but we can't do it because Sega. Pretty much.
Oh.
I just think that there was this whole thing about the Michael Jackson music, yeah. Sonic 3 is the only one that's not been touched. Maybe Sega are not wanting to like start that discussion in case. I can just foresee it's like because everyone's just going, oh yeah, Michael Jackson was involved and that, and it's like okay, if you redo that, then you're going to have to start dealing with the music issues again.
The thing for me is like with how long everyone was obsessing over Michael Jackson being potentially in the Sonic 3 soundtrack, if they go for that long about that particular subject, I can only imagine how long they would go about Sonic 3 Remastered and stuff. I mean, they're still going on about Sonic Adventure 3, like, how many years now?
Donkeys
years. Donkey!
Not that donkey, just general donkeys.
General donkeys. But so there's that going on as well. There's a lot of general Sonic stuff going on this week, actually.
Yeah.
But yes, no, Sonic Boom hasn't sold as well, so therefore Sega is doomed, and every single
Sonic Boom has crashed and burned.
Therefore every single
except for the animation part, which
and the
everybody before this week was agreeing, yeah, the animation can stay. Now I had a dozen websites come up on my Facebook feed that I'd never subscribed to, saying about how Sonic should die or is dead. Because they want hits, basically. Because foolish fans like us then come and click on it and find out what they've said.
Yep.
But yes, anyway, the point was that regardless of whatever you think, the show's bloody good, and we've got a show about it to see.
Yeah,
the show exists.
The Sonic comics as a whole are great, not just the Boom comics. I mean, the comics as a whole are amazing.
The only time I see the comics brought up when it comes to the games is put stuff from the comics into the games. Because the comics have such a rich lore, yet a rich lore that was retconned a couple of years back. Because somebody put the Arch comics in the games, and then somebody else complained about it.
Also, these end up being the same people complaining that there's a story in the first place, and you should be concentrating on the game stuff. And it's like, why don't you put story stuff in? It's wonderful the back and forth of it. I mean, obviously having the opportunity to work on Sonic games as well. The fan base is so completely bipolar. In a way,
because there's like 8 different fan bases at least.
But as soon as a decision is made to go in one direction, I mean, we had we don't want any more friends. We want Sonic on his own. They had a period where Sonic was playable only on his own. At which point everyone's going, "Why aren't you putting the other characters back in?" And it's like,
I recalled statements like that, like back in 2011, 2010, in fact. Like, people, all it took was just 2 games, and people were already like, where's Sonic's friends?
I want to play as something the something.
I wanna play as the little robot from Knuckles Chaotix, whose name I can't even remember. That's how memorable he is.
Bomb,
it's Heavy and Bomb.
I want to play as Bomb.
Well, Heavy and Bomb are in the comics.
Then again, so are just about everyone else. But
Heavy and Bomb are in the comics because, well, our good friend Mr. Flynn. That's why they're in the comics.
If you want anything out of the Sonic games, just read the comics. Just buy the comics.
Speaking of the comics, coming up, of course, are the comics written by the Sonic Boom writers. Da, da, da. So there's like all the awesome is combined into one thing.
This will either go really well or really strangely.
Yep. the best thing, the thing is, people want the stories from the comics to be in the games. I don't think people realize that the whole point, like, the comics probably have a great story because that's kind of the focus for comics, because they, have nothing more than dialogue and pictures.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, it'd also be good, but you then have to basically start everything from the beginning.
But
yeah.
Also, if you're going like the rich pre-lawsuit lore, then okay. So how many women has Sonic kissed in that? For how long did this comic revolve around really strange sci-fi comics?
Yeah.
How much of this comic was Knuckles' really, really detailed Superman ripoff family?
Hey guys, it's Tails 50 years later.
Yeah, the future stuff as well. Yeah.
Sorry, can't say the future. That's a Ken Penders alarm. Sorry, no. He owns the future. Okay.
I keep inciting Pender's wrath.
Ken Penders.
All I did was critique his bloody patch design.
Ken Penders is copyrighted.
I'm sorry. To avoid future lawsuits, we mustn't talk about him anymore.
Ken Penders is copyrighted Future Act 1.
Okay, so Candace.
Original character. Do not steal.
There we go. We found an actual use for that meme.
I still think you should refer to as he who should not be named.
That's a little disastrous.
But yes, although referencing that person, we did get to see a page of their work this week, and my goodness, is it a pile of shit. And I never swear on these commentaries, but it is.
I think it's kind of obvious right now why Evan Stanley is currently doing official Sonic comics.
But I want to get away from all that if we can. And back to Sonic Boom.
Back to Sonic Boom.
Yeah.
Right, so we did get a minor piece of Freiberger's feedback for the last one, which you may have seen, because I believe I asked, when do we get the musical episode? To which the response was, I wish I could answer that.
Oh God.
So.
Oh God.
So there's actually a musical episode then.
I don't
Well,
think that's what he's saying.
he's just saying that he
We
can't
don't know what
answer
he's
that.
saying. He's saying, I can't tell you anything
Yeah,
about it.
he's saying, he's basically, I cannot confirm one way or the other if such a thing exists.
I cannot confirm or deny these allegations.
You're just gonna end up with like Styx having. But that's how we find out about Styx's backstory. She sings a heartfelt song for 2 minutes.
Oh.
And actually, this also ties in with our writer for the day, who is Dave Polsky.
Dave Polsky was the guy that accidentally spilled that Sonic Boom was happening.
Yes, he was the guy that we all
And
got worried
nobody
about.
believed us. But also, because it was Dave Polsky, there was a minor worry that it was this. There was a minor. You can either call it was either a worry, or it was a. I have no idea how to phrase this. I'm sorry. Bees in a fish tank.
It was
Bees in an empty fish tank over. Okay, are the MLP staff going to be making a Sonic cartoon?
And
And of course,
yeah.
because
yeah,
Dave Polsky has worked on things that are not My Little Pony,
exactly.
and is probably better off doing that. Really, but
when this went into this, and I can't remember if it was Stadium or TSSZ who went.
TSSZ.
yes, I said
But yeah, we're British. It's going to be a Z for us.
Yeah.
that's not.
Tomato.
When we say Z, we're just humouring you and Tristan and your butchery of the English language. That's the only reason.
First at Europe.
Oh, yeah, I'm kidding. Don't comment in the hate.
Comments.
I think it probably was TSSC. No,
It was.
Yeah.
It was because I remember the article that was written.
Yeah. So, because that came out and they just sort of did a couple of things. It just stood out for me because he was the writer of Scary Movie 2. And immediately for me, it was just like, okay, this thing's in trouble. I am majorly concerned. But obviously, he was the writer of this. He was also the writer of Translate This, which was a really, really good show. So nothing going on there. But it's what I'm saying, tying in with the musical episode that Kat mentioned that obviously he's been involved in 11 episodes of My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic.
Of course.
10 of them as a writer. However, he also did lyrics for 2 of the songs in the series. So it could potentially be something if there is a musical episode down the line, which obviously has not been confirmed one way or the other. But if there was,
If there was, we can
it's
dream.
quite likely you'd have potentially thought that Dave Polsky would be the one writing that, just because of the other.
Because he's the only one who we know has background in writing lyrics.
Absolutely. Going on with some of the other stuff, he got additional writing credits for 2 episodes of South Park, which includes the Pink Eye episode, if you remember that one.
No, I've never watched it.
130 episodes of Singled Out, which I've never watched in my life. And 17 episodes writing for Cedric the Entertainer Presents, which I expect some kind of apology for. on behalf of the nation, and indeed the world. No, actually, I feel very sorry for Dave. And the reason why he's the only person on IMDb who, when we've been doing this pre-show stuff, guys, he's the only person that I've actually seen with people like putting really nasty comments, like fans of the show being really critical. There's like 3 of them on there, which is just like, this is terrible and you should be ashamed of yourself.
That's a really awkward moment.
So my personal plea, to the guys who watch this, if you enjoyed Translate This, and I'm sure you did, and if you enjoyed Unlucky Knuckles, which is today's episode, and you have an IMDb account, go on Dave Polsky's profile. You can leave a comment in relation to him. do and say on there that you personally really, really enjoyed it. You enjoyed the characterization or whatever, because it just seems very unfair. The poor guys had some like really angry people, and they're quite old comments, but obviously they're still there still. So you know, if you do enjoy these guys' work, you know, say something. Say something to them. It would be something very nice, I think, for them to do. So if you could do that, that would be great.
Yeah, I mean, like, if there's one thing I've learned, and it's one thing we've seen every time we've talked about the writers and stuff. You have to at least appreciate them for all the work they've done. Their resumes are just unbelievably huge and so much variety. I don't think I've seen a staff like with so much experience working on an anime before.
Absolutely, and that's beyond Scooby-Doo and Batman. It's been absolutely all over the place, hasn't it? In terms of in terms of sort of serious stuff and comedic stuff and live action and cartoons. I mean, it was a very, very talented group of people that have been brought together. However, since we've already talked about Dave Polsky before, though, on the show, I thought it would be nice, because otherwise we're just going to end up repeating the same IMDb stuff. If we also had to look at one of the other members of the Boom team who you see on the opening credits, and those change all the time as well. Specifically in the executive producer role, obviously we've got Bill Freiberger, who's always on there. He's like co-executive producer. He oversees everything, like I guess behind the scenes. One of the executive producers on this episode was Evan Bailey.
Ah, yes.
Okay. IMDb also lists him as the showrunner. Right. His credits, include Casper's Scare School, which he was producer for. George of the Jungle, the TV series. 13 episodes as executive producer. A TV movie for Nickelodeon called Psycho Ferret. Which I now want to see, just because. Why the hell is it named Psycho Ferret?
It's dragging all the socks under the bed.
Oh my god! It's running up it's running up people's trouser legs everywhere. Oh my!
We have very, very different images of ferrets.
It's gone limp and it's just being really bizarre, and it's on the YouTube videos. This is like
Are you sure that's a ferret you're talking about?
Yes. Ferrets do have a tendency when you pick them up to sometimes go very limp, and then people sort of like try and sort of manipulate them, and because obviously they're so flexible, it's sort of ridiculous.
Don't manipulate ferrets. That's
unless you're trained to do so. Okay, unless you've got a license.
Unless you're a trained ferret manipulator, please don't manipulate ferrets.
Yeah. Ferret manipulating also confirmed for the next Summer of Sonic.
And probably for Eggman's next invention.
Absolutely.
Next new friend.
Evil ferret manipulation. Also, last one, consulting producer for 11 episodes of Lazy Town.
Ooh.
And I did check, and that includes the Rottenbeard episode, so Evan Bailey is partially responsible for You Are a Pirate.
Yar har fiddly dee, being an Eggman is okay with me. You know what? I want to hear Eggman do a spoof of that song now.
Mike, we'll pay you. Which is the very specific thing that's required to get you to do Eggman voices off the job.
No, he can't do Eggman voice. He can do his voice, which is just as wonderful. What we need to do is find a voice that he has done, which is actually technically the same as the Eggman voice, and request in that.
Yes.
Yeah, but I need you to do this, but I need you to do it in the voice you did as the ancient jar in Oh My Goddess. Okay.
Oh god.
If you can do it as that'd be great. Yeah. Why? Oh, I'm just a really big fan of that particular voice you used.
So let's see. We have Knuckles as detergent. We have Eggman singing "You Are a Pirate."
Eggman singing "You're a Pirate." Also, his Ferret Manipulator is needs to be a thing.
This is the best sitcom I think we've ever made.
It could always run on Knuckles detergent. You know, it would be very easy to do. But yeah, I just love the fact that we've got somebody who at least has some degree of responsibility for You Are a Pirate. So
we're happy with this.
that absolutely made my day.
Wait until Forever comes back with saying that no, he did not do this, and everybody gets disappointed.
This is going to be a bit. It's going to be a bit unusual actually, because the pre-show is going to totally outdo the post-show in this instance. Because normally it's like the pre-show is like whatever, but we're like me and Donnie are like 46 minutes in now to the pre-show, so it's going to be like the longest.
I'm sorry, I'm so late because I only came in halfway through.
Oh, don't worry, you're here.
You're actually here, unlike everyone else.
Everybody else.
I exist.
And we're so grateful.
Very proud of this.
But not only did you show up, but you actually told us in advance.
I exist, and I'm being stared at with hundreds of plastic eyes.
You're her fiddly.
You're her fiddle-dee-dee. Oh, God.
Have we forgotten anything?
There is one more thing, actually, which we did forget from a couple of weeks ago. Now, Jono, who is sometimes on these and is obviously a member of the Sonic Show, he was involved, we've mentioned it before, in Western Supersonic, which was a UK meet. What we didn't...
I went there, it was alright.
You went there. And you went there, and I went there, and Donnie's voice went there, and Donnie actually introduced this. Donnie introduces the event on a video where he basically just went, yeah, I don't know what's going on. Hi. Hi, welcome to the thing. Stuff's going to happen. Don't know. Haven't got a list for it.
That's the truth.
Let me put it this way. Kevin and I almost had a taste of what I had to do for Western Supersonic.
Yeah, that would have been fun. But I think we've mentioned it before. We may have shown the actual newspaper clip in one of these videos. What we didn't show you is the thing that I discovered when I went on the website for the newspaper. Okay. Again, if you're watching the video as opposed to listening to this entire thing on the podcast, if you are on the podcast,
obviously it will show up on the screen.
It will show up on the screen on the LMC video. The underneath, okay, this is nothing to do with my search history at all. Underneath the Western the Western Chronicle or whatever it was called, underneath the story online was a number of other story links, recent story links, and I swear to God, this was the top one. Okay, and you may remember this, Donnie, because I said to you, the top story underneath was, the headline was "Buster's Tale to Help Real Dogs." Okay, it's a genuine headline that appeared immediately under the Western Supersonic story online.
I am really confused.
I remember this.
Buster's Tale to Help Real Dogs was the headline.
What's Buster's Tale?
Tale is in story. But the idea that somehow Buster the dog from Boom has somehow escaped and is actually doing self-help groups or something. You can be a real dog if you follow my advice. Excuse me, I just coughed vomit all over the place.
Yeah, bad dog.
Buster's job as an after-dinner speaker. I like.
I am Buster. I'm a clusterholic.
Okay, Buster is the motivational speaker. Then we've decided.
Motivational speak. Also, a keynote speech from Buster is also part of next summer.
Can Buster give us this? Can Buster deliver for us Americans out there that might be watching? Can Buster help deliver the State of the Union address? I just want to see that for some reason.
Barking in shoes.
Oh god! Can Buster deliver the series over here? That'd be nice.
Buster, you can do it. We believe in you. But you seriously need to get that throwing up problem fixed.
Yeah, that's some serious acid problem you've got there. Right.
Makes me nauseous. Not a good thing.
Right. Does everybody have the episode? He says not having the episode up.
I don't have the episode up anymore.
I'm just glad we actually have an episode after.
Right. I would say you'll get your episodes ready on your genuine copies of the recording that the pigeon brought over for Jamie. If you all have that ready.
Thank you for the pigeon. For the pigeon, Jamie. I dated it.
Uh-oh.
You had to for boyfriend. Oh dear.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Remember when you were my childhood bird friend, Donnie?
For those of you
who were Kevin's childhood bird friend.
For those of you who don't understand, Last Minute Continues has done a let's play of Hatful Boyfriend. Donnie was the best friend pigeon in that.
And I sat in the library all day, which is absolutely nothing like what I did in school. No,
you're a ghost. You were a sad ghost pigeon, and I was the adorably spunky young girl in the let's play. Check it out.
It doesn't.
Yes,
it doesn't help that. Young
girl. This is how we describe this woman with incredible bloodthirst.
Yeah.
It doesn't help that the day we're recording this would be probably the best day of all to watch that LP.
Yeah. although Donnie, have you seen the Valentine's cards that they've put out?
Oh,
the Mediatonic put out.
I haven't seen that yet.
Mediatonic put out 2, and Humble Bundle also put out 1.
Oh god.
Oh boy.
Which is Humble Bundles is really adorable.
Cool indeed. Right.
It also shows they have about as many Hatful Boyfriend assets as we do, which is none.
Yeah. Oh, for love of God, Mediatonic, please put out some Hatful Boyfriend assets so people can do stuff and like have fan sites and things. That'd be great.
I want to do really strange videos.
That's nothing
with really
new.
strange audio. we can do this. We can become the Danganronpa fandom.
Oh god. although we're going to stick on the Hatful Boyfriend here, I know, but Kat showed me like the drama CDs the other day, and Oko-san's voice on that, the Japanese Oko-san is like cool.
So it's basically the voice you gave. It's the voice you gave to what's his face, the doctor.
Yeah, yeah.
Basically,
but the exaggerated coo wasn't that far away
from what the hell Kevin was doing.
Yeah,
because now that Wakamoto-san couldn't actually coo like a bird,
it was like coo.
That was already impossible from the moment they said go.
Anyway,
that was impossible from the moment he hit puberty.
Oh god. Anyway, absolute train wreck for pre-show is over.
I'm sorry, I ruined everything.
No, it actually made it rather interesting because, well, you're here and
time flew on this one. I'm saying.
Well, I'm here.
Well, for talking about pigeons and time flew, then yes, I would imagine the pigeons probably took time.
Absolutely, we will leave pigeons here. They won't materialise in Sonic Boom episode 13. So, have you all got that particular link up?
I have that particular link up.
Right, I will now give a countdown and then tell you to click
I'll be
play.
slightly all desynced, but this is life.
There we go. All right. So, if you're ready,
and
you're ready, ready, stick with us if you're on the podcast. We'll get there eventually. Apologies for the huge memory usage of your iPod.
Sorry, we destroyed everything.
Yeah, it's all our fault. Okay, episode 30 on Luckle Knuckles in 3, 2. 1, click.